How's it going, family? Let me know if you could hear me. Got about 120 beautiful souls hanging out with us already. It's great to see on this lovely Saturn day. As Saturn retrograde comes to its finality, it's been fun. Just going to give it a couple minutes, let these notifications go out, get you guys some beautiful visuals, of course. Just give me a second. All right. We're kicking it old school. So I just uppercutted my microphone by mistake. Guys, let me know if I'm too loud. Usually that's not the complaint, but just want to make sure. Pretty sure my mic settings are Gucci. I just don't want to go into a stream of consciousness and then everybody's telling me that they can't hear me. Okay, cool. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, man. I love you guys. I hope you're all doing amazing. I'm excited for today. It was great to connect last week. I miss doing these live streams. Gonna be reintegrating them the best I can. Can't make any promises, but if I can, I will. And here we are. This is the only moment we have, anyways. So let's enjoy it together. Philly D, 15. I appreciate you becoming a YouTube member. Much love. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. Great to have you here with us. Not Tom Cruise. Hope you are doing amazing. Appreciate you showing up. Servando Estrada. Man, it's unfortunate that I said that in my last video because it seems like it was funny because I'm funny, obviously. But beyond that, it's the only thing people really seem to care about. I guess I have that effect on people. It was pretty hilarious though. Like after I was done saying it, I was like, this is gold. This is this is an Academy Award winning quote. It's early in this live stream. We just got to come out and say it, like we don't give a fuck. We aren't worried about how soft you are, how if your feelings were hurt, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your feelings. It's going to get hot today in the sauna. So if you're not ready to sweat, maybe this isn't the right place. And that's fine. That is fine. It's fine for me. I hope it's fine for you. Also, shout out to the 200 people joining us at the very beginning of today's Saturn Day live stream of consciousness. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today's sponsors are tap water from Flint, Michigan, neon green traffic cones that have been partially crushed, and Newport cigarettes. Shout out to Newport for basically stealing the Nike logo. That's classic right there. You know what's gayer than bears though? Vaping. No, I'm just kidding. That's that's gonna offend a lot of people. It's too early. It's too early. We're only 7 minutes in. We have to we have to ease into it. You know, you gotta like the landing gear has to come down, and then co-pilot needs to make sure that all right. We're just gonna say hi to a couple people and then do what we do best. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today might be really funny. Today might be very tragic. You might cry, you might laugh, who knows? That's what a Waters Above live stream could be. Love stonks. Sending out lots of love over to you. Hope you're doing amazing. Wiggly 3502. Appreciate you. You said playing a pool tournament to pay for the breakdown and move forward. First time I ever felt like a true hustler. Yo, I love pool. I'm super into billiards, but I'm not that great at it. You know, the two things that I really, three things. There's three things that I could share with you all that I'm really into, but I haven't really dedicated the amount of effort that I could have as I have in other things in life. First one would be skateboarding. Second one would be pool, billiards, and the third would be chess. Those are like 3 things that I always see other people do, and I'm super impressed by, and I'm like, "Damn, I wish I had the mind or the coordination to." But it's really fascinating because I'm a guitar player, and I've been playing guitar my whole life, and obviously I have a high level of coordination there. I don't know, it's just like, I guess you just kinda find the thing that you're coded for, you know? Maybe that's something we could all resonate with for a moment, like, it's okay to not be excellent at something that you're fascinated by and something that you are attracted to, you know what I mean? Um, so shout out to all the skateboarders out there, shout out to all the amazing chess players. I think we have a really amazing chess player in our community. I'm not gonna call him out, but apparently apparently he's really incredible, and then obviously anybody that pours their heart and soul into something they're passionate about, like, you're on team Wolfpack. And I wanna switch up the energy moving forward. You know, the new video I just put out, I know it's not very watchable. I know it bothered a lot of people. The intro had its moments, but it was raw, and it was me saying, "Okay, if I'm gonna make quote unquote content moving forward, I need to, like, set some tone to where this is all headed." And guys, I gotta admit, I've been looking deep into AI lately, and when you're wondering why things aren't going perhaps the way that you thought they would, and that could go for me as well, I really do truly believe that it's because right now we're sort of in the midst of almost everything we put out there, all of our opinions, all of our feelings, all of our expectations, all of our comments, and then, of course, all of the content is being like effectively vacuumed into an infinite cloud. And that is being fed back to the people who quote unquote run the world. And they know what we're on about. They know what we're into. They know what we're feeling. They know when we start to get a little aggressive or we start to, get a little spicy. They say, "Shut up, slave. Here's $2,000." That's legitimately the world we've been living in for the past 5 years. And it will only get more wild, you know? So we're heading in a direction where I feel like it's so much more important to talk about things like mindset and skills and generating cash flow and like learning how to create business and also developing stronger community, more putting more emphasis and focus on relationships. I don't mean just sexual relationships. I mean like getting more people into your world to communicate with and have that be the center point of your day. Don't have your day being the infinite scroll and the infinite, like, you sharing your opinion in the comments section. Like, be better, okay? And kind of like my take on this whole thing is like a lot of people have been able to offset their true strength by being able to just live in the comment section like an absolute fucking dweeb, you know? Like people who in real life they don't put much energy into creating or much energy into getting better at something, but when you give them X, for example, Twitter, it's the perfect environment for that type of person to feel like they're thriving. But in actuality, that's why they're so socially awkward in real life. That's why they struggle so much finding a girlfriend or a partner or whatever. And this is quite tragic. So when they start rolling out the humanoid robots with this highly sophisticated AI, it's just an inevitability that we're going to watch humanity separate more and more in its it just reminds me of that song by Tool where they are effectively talking about like this communication dislocation. And we're there, man. Like, we're there. So I'm gonna commit as much as I possibly can with the limited time that I have to bringing people together. You know, every year I set intentions, and my number one intention for 2026, and I'm like forecasting, I'm sharing it with you all today, is to bring more people together. How could I possibly do that? I am going to invest a lot of my fucking money into making that happen. I will be aiming to invest 10 times more money in that mission than in cryptocurrency. Regardless, bull market, bear market, I don't give a fuck. It's fairy dust and it's sucking our fucking life force away. We're watching people who are like grasping for dear life for the hope that some market does insert outcome that you want. And the elite know how you feel. That was the point in my recent video. Seems like a lot of people didn't catch that, even though I started the video with that point. But when instead of playing that game, when you start creating your own, taking your vision and bringing it to life in real life, the elite or the people who run the world can't do shit. They literally can't do shit. But if you invest every dime you have into this fairy dust blockchain Aquarian nonsense, when the volcano erupts, you'll be stuck on the island and there will be no resources left. People need to become more resourceful. And over 2025, this year, I've realized that I guess it's hard to make that commitment. It's hard to take that risk. So, guess what? I'm going to take the fucking risk for you. Someone has to. So, this sets the tone moving forward for what I'm going to make my art about, what everything that I release will be about. And it's not like I'm pivoting away from crypto. It's not like I'm saying don't invest in crypto. I'm not, none of that. But we need to change our relationship with crypto. We need to change our relationship with investing. We need to change our relationship with these devices. We need to change our relationship with other content creators and influencers out there, including the one that you might have with me. I am not perfect. In regards to the market, I'm wrong often. Does that concern me? Well, I can't let it. I have to keep building. I have to keep refining. I have to keep my eyes on the prize. Some days it looks cloudy and it doesn't fucking rain. You could do your best to look out at the sky and hope that whatever comes will come, but that doesn't matter. Get comfortable in the rain. One of my favorite lyrics from a Bright Eyes song, he says, "If it's true what we're made of, why do I hide from the rain?" It's a beautiful line because you're made of water. I love that line. Great song. All right. 15 minutes in, set the tone. Hope you're all doing amazing. Let's get to some let's get to some questions in the chat. Pablo Rivera, that's true. Mercury retrograde is now behind us. Moving into a new energy. Carmen Alexandra, hope you're doing amazing. Great to have you here. Shout out to Third Eye Wizard. Much love over to Utah, one of my favorite states in the good old USA. Shout out to QZ. Hope you're doing amazing, brother. Everybody go check out QZ's Spotify. Go support a fellow wolf. Incredible musician. Eclipsed BTC. Hope you're doing amazing. Eclipse BTC, we've gone back and forth perhaps over the years now regarding solar lunar cycle. I would love to hear some of your thoughts on what you're anticipating coming up into February, March, because as you've probably heard in my Red Pill podcasts, and I even spent some time on it in yesterday's video, I was talking about the specific nuance of how if we are to be repeating the lunar cycle from 2019 or 2018 into 2019, essentially, it's hard to determine how that will go for the March eclipse because we have the annular solar eclipse before it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's super difficult. And so many people in my last video, they were like, so it's we either go up into March or we go down into March. And I'm like, you're missing the fucking point. You're missing the fucking point. If we are to bottom, it is soon. It is very soon. We're about to enter December. Like, what better fucking news do you want to hear? Like, I'm telling you, your crops will be fruitful this year, son. And it's like people are like, they don't want to learn. They don't want to listen, you know? And I'm laughing as I say this because I'm playful about it. Like I get it. I get that like nobody wants to sit through such a extensively long discussion about the whatever. I don't want to make this live about that, about crypto, but Eclipse BTC, shout out. I hope you're doing amazing, brother. It's great to have you here with us. Would love to hear your thoughts, maybe in a comment inside of the Patreon, inside of the Mastermind community, whenever you get a chance. It'd be great to hear your take because I know you're somebody who's been following my work very closely regarding the solar and lunar cycles. And again, just kind of wrap up my takes on everything so that we could keep today's live stream focused on life and not just markets. I'm going back into the solar lunar cycle stuff. I'm going to put a lot more time into the study of it, into the way that Bitcoin behaves during these pivotal moments, and I will continue to get better. I will always work to get better. Much love over to the Netherlands, Kimmy. Cheese Waller 69. Yeah, I can't name a single Little Uzi song. But I remember when I first I when I first saw this thing, does it identify as like a they them? I don't even know. But when I saw this thing coming up and getting like clearly very popular, I was looking at the name and I'm like, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi. Like I started saying it because you guys know my decoding is very much based on speaking out the words and the etymology and then obviously the um syllables. And yeah, I'm just like, yo, the New World Order straight up told this guy his name will be Lucifer. Like, but yeah, I actually don't listen to any of this stuff. Typically those types of artists, when I try to listen to them, I can't last too long because I'm like, what is this? Like, what is this? But very funny joke. Sophia 313 sending lots of love. I appreciate you. Adam Nowakowski. Good question. I mean, okay, so for those that are just listening right now, the question is, what do you think about all this fear surrounding quantum computers hacking into the Bitcoin code? I mean, is that really our biggest concern? Like, I mean, like if we're talking quantum computers and their capabilities, like I think Bitcoin's the least of your concerns here. I mean, it's a good question, but like when a lot of these things come about, you guys should know me by now. Like I'm always going to revert back to like what actually matters more. So, you know, Adam, and I think a lot of people who are listening to this, can we all just admit that if you've been part of at least one cycle, not and this one is not, I'm not counting just this one. If you were in the market in 2020, leading up to now, or better yet, if you're somebody who's listening who was in the market in 2016, and I'm talking on crypto specifically, so in Bitcoin or whatever digital assets. Now, if you were in the market in fucking 2014, 2015, you're a legend, and you definitely know what I'm about to say. Okay. So there's this website, I think it's called like 99 Bitcoins or something, and it's like all the times like the Bitcoin graveyard. It's all the times that Bitcoin was supposed to go to zero, or all the like Bitcoin FUD. Now, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I even said this in my last video when I started talking a lot about specifically Bitcoin, and I said I technically hold more XRP than I do Bitcoin um, by recent investments measures. So that means out of recent investments. But with that being said, I hope what I'm about to say, and I hope you all see where I'm coming from with this idea that why is there always like on an annual basis a new thing that comes out that tries to make Bitcoin like the devil or something, or like and it's just like it keeps going higher and higher and higher. Like, guys, like, can we just remember all the Tether FUD and then what happened? Did Tether go to shit? No, UST went to shit. It's a look here, don't look here. So, like, I love all the Bitcoin FUD. It makes me want to even buy more Bitcoin. Like, just keep coming up with a new thing. Oh, Epstein's tied to Bitcoin? Sure. See, what people don't understand about Epstein, you guys don't understand. Like, very few people actually understand what's going on with Epstein. Should I even talk about it? Is it worth it? You guys are smart cookies. Guys, look here. Don't look here. You blame the guy who looks like the Newman fucking cookie package guy. So you don't actually look at all the other things going on. I don't know how else to say it. Cause when I first started this channel, I said a couple of these things and people like, oh my God, but he's not saying the exact thing that QAnon tells us. And it's like, think for yourself. If something is popular, don't you gather that it's probably a distraction? Maybe, kinda, sorta, perhaps. Anywho, this quantum computer thing, you should have much bigger concerns than Satoshi's, in my opinion. And we could talk about that. We could talk about that separately if anyone has any more nuanced questions. Uh, Fabio, whatever. Speak for yourself. Not Tom Cruise. What are you gonna do? Someone had to say it. Bears go into hibernation. Yay. Yo, oh my god, I'm at this part of it. Oh, are you serious? V Especially competitive vaping? Wait, I am Patrick Star living under a rock all the time. I just saw this video the other day, somebody sent it to me of competitive what is it, window washing? It's literally like a bunch of dudes in like a convention center washing window, like a window washing competition. It blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. By the way, like, if you're a window washer, you might as well do the best you be the best. I'm not actually shitting on it. I think it's I wanna, like, take a step back. Take a step back. Some of you remember the story that I shared with you all. I worked at this one, like, really, kind of important cafe at a time. I don't wanna talk too deeply into it, but I worked with somebody who like, kinda left one of his jobs at another really important cafe to come work at this one, and he was, like, fucking really good at what he was doing. He was boss level. And he moved to this new city, got this new job, I started working with him, and, of course, I wanted to learn as much as I could from somebody who had a lot more expertise than I had, and then one day I found out that he was working at Taco Bell as, like, a side job, like, just to get some cash on the side, and I asked him, and I was like, "Bro, your resume is so fucking good, like, why are you working at Taco?" I was like, "What do you do at Taco Bell?" And he was like, "I'm a dishwasher." And I was like, "Are you what? Come again?" This is like somebody who's like a waiter at like a Michelin star restaurant being like, "Yeah, on the side, I work as the dishwasher at McDonald's." It blew my mind. I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, it was a really easy job for me to get really quickly, and I wanted to become a better dishwasher." And I was like, "What? You wanted to be better at dishwashing?" He's like, borderline latte art champion vibes. Like, you guys know, like, pouring latte art with milk and into, like, a cappuccino? He was, like, that level, fucking really good. And I'm like, "You wanna wash dishes at Taco," but what I learned from this conversation that I had with him was he had a gap in his expertise, like, he wanted to become better, and he felt like there was room for improvement there, so he just got the opportunity, and I really admired that. And it changed my perspective and judgment and, like, so many things. Again, this was maybe, like, 11, 12 years I don't remember how many years ago this was. This was a while ago, so I'm just doing my best to remember the story, but it really changed my perspective on a lot of things. And it showed me that when you don't have a business and you're seeking jobs, really what you should seek is skill, like, acquiring skills. You should go into everything not to make money, but rather to acquire skills, to become more competent. And then by changing the why, you'll walk away from every single shift at that job with something very valuable and you'll become better every day. Most people get jobs, they just want the money and they don't give a shit about what they're doing, meaning they don't give a shit about themselves. So you'll never become an entrepreneur. The funny thing is when entrepreneurs are working in jobs, they try to problem solve the issues in the companies. They try to do things that they believe is better for the company, and a lot of the times the company doesn't want that. They just want you to do what they tell you to do. So then you need to make the executive decision to be like, "Well, I can't be in an environment that controls me." Like, if you believe you are more competent than your environment in the, field that you're well, then it's time to move on. It's time to graduate. So, of course, there's levels to this. But what I'm trying to say is like one of the best practices I think anyone could exercise is let's just say you consume something. Let's just say you're listening to this right now and you drink beer. Try going to your local brewery if there's one in town and ask them if you can just spend a day like observing what they do. Don't earn money. Like on your day off, just ask them, "Can I just observe what you do? I want to learn more about what you're doing." Put yourself in the process. and it'll change your relationship with the thing you're consuming. It'll make you much more grateful. So after all of that time of me like having that new mindset, it becomes wisdom. And now everything that I get involved in, everything that I consume, I want to now become part of that process as well. It's kind of what happened here with the crypto thing. I was watching a bunch of people do the crypto thing on YouTube, and I said to myself, well, I think I could do this my way, and maybe people will appreciate that. But at first I doubted myself. I didn't think anyone would care. So shout out to the OGs, the real OGs that believe that I should do this. Because if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have given it a shot. And here we are. It's like almost 5 years now. So it's amazing how things turn out. But anyways, to wrap up the point that I'm getting to here, it's like don't be ashamed of your job that you have. And if anybody makes you feel that way, they're not your people. But furthermore, if you want to walk away with value every single day, then make the job that you have or the jobs that you're seeking about acquiring skills, acquiring knowledge, and make that your goal every single day. Don't even put a time horizon on it. Don't say that I need to have this job for a year or 2 years or whatever. Like just go about it to acquire the skills. Go in there every day to continue to acquire the knowledge. Thank me later. TG.21 said, I would like to play against you in chess. You will absolutely destroy me. I'm horrible. Actually, I shouldn't say that about myself. I'm good. I'm decent. But for me, like I like chess to get my mind off of the entrepreneurial side of things because I'm very much dedicating a lot of my time and my energy into building something quite a lot bigger than the current thing I have going on. So you guys will hear more about that maybe in a month. It's kind of like shh, kind of secret, you know. But chess allows me to have that little break from that here and there. And I'm not getting better. My mind doesn't work that way. My mind doesn't work like a chess like an actual chess player's mind. My mind is much more like instinctive or something, like it's intuitive, and chess is too much rules. It's too much like sequence. It's like an algorithm. It's kind of like solving a Rubik's cube in a way. In a way, not exactly the same, but I'm sure though if somebody who was really excellent at chess was to teach me after a day or two, I'd probably start getting really good if I learned a system. It's kind of like TA. If you're just staring at candles moving up and down, you don't have a fucking clue what's going on. But then when you learn a couple of the basic things that you need to learn, identifying trend, some basic indicators, then you start getting like a lot better exponentially than just staring and looking at it for absolutely no reason. The calibrated compass, that's dope. Keep learning how to weld. It's a very useful skill. Johnny Warbucks, I appreciate you sending lots of love. Yo, Osa's Pizza said you built a Neapolitan oven. Shit, my favorite is Neapolitan pizza. I remember when I first traveled to Naples, I was like, this is this is crazy. Absolutely mind blowing. Shout out to Napoli. And shout out to Osa's Pizzas. Do you own a restaurant? Plug. Plug away. Arizona Lane said, in your recent video, when you said we are the elite's newsfeed, it hit me like a ton of bricks. So true. Becoming more predictive of my protective, sorry, of my energy. I appreciate your gnosis immensely. Yeah, Lane, I'm glad that stuck out to you because I was trying to put emphasis on that, and I said it two separate occasions during that video. Very intentionally. It's also my way of saying be careful what you put out there. Because so many people are putting too much out there in the on the internet. It's called internet. You are on the World Wide Web. What is in the web? Think about it. It's all word spells. Got a super chat from Warrior Bones 37. You said, "What's something you learned about yourself this year?" um Something that I learned about myself. That I have like an insane risk tolerance, that I have like the ability to make some very tough decisions and be silent when I would have normally wanted to speak, and be much more in control of, like, just more emotionally sophisticated in general, I think, which is one of the things that I believe I was already pretty solid at, but I'm getting a deeper understanding of how I'm that way, and in the work involved to be that way also. It's not easy. It requires a discipline, but the risk tolerance thing and, like, just the capacity to be very uncomfortable, I'm learning that I have that ability. Like a CEO, I think like Warrior Bones, if I had to be super vulnerable, and I know this might not resonate with many people, so sorry if it doesn't resonate. I'm just being vulnerable, and I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I believe we're all figuring out what type of animal we are. We're all trying to figure out, like, what really we are. And we were talking a little bit ago about being an employee, right? Like being somebody who works for somebody, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And that's valuable. That's like I've told people this so many times. Like if everybody that was alive was like a CEO, the world would be shit. If everyone alive was insanely awake and enlightened, the world would be shit. Like this thing called reality is perfect. I know right now somebody's gonna say, well, there's like war going on in like Ukraine and Gaza, and there's like a Trump is this and that. Like, it's perfect. It's happening as it needs to happen for you, not against you. You just need to realize that. You need to learn how to observe more, speak less, listen more, witness better. Just become a better observer and you will become better. This is really what shapes you as a being, and it's what puts you on the path forward to whatever you will become. Some people are heading towards a dead end. Some people are heading towards the tip of the mountain. But guess what? When you reach the tip of the mountain, you're going to look into the horizon line looking for taller mountains. It's never over. The same thing goes with money. If you did well in this bull run or you didn't do well in this bull run, if you're living your life for this like grand win that you'll accomplish, like it will not change you at all. If anything, the waiting around for whatever to happen, the alt season or whatever, it just kills time. You watch time slip through your hands like sand, and you don't really become what you are here to become. So I think a very important thing to talk about today is like finding out what you are. Like We we are coded for excellence. We're just failing to remember. And I think this whole thing called life is remembering. We've lost access to this infinite memory bank. That's the real bank. And I am starting to remember a lot. And this isn't something that's happened all at once. It's been happening perpetually, probably over the last 15, 20. I don't even know how many years, but I'm just aligning with it more and more and more and more. And this year, I was really aligning with a lot more than usual, I feel. Even though I have a lot on my plate, I have a lot going on. And we talked a little bit about this earlier with regards to, setting intentions for the year ahead. But as for what I've been learning about myself, it's that like I do have that CEO kind of mindset. Like I need to create things where I give opportunities to people to help me bring my vision to life. And this was the first year that I ever let go of that control. Where in the past, I would want to, like, control every little thing, and I could say, "I can do it. I know how to do it. I don't need any help. I got this." But this year, I finally let go of that control, and I said, "You know what? I need to think bigger. I need to think bigger." Because clearly, I was gifted with this ability and access to create something massive, to do something that is scary to other people, and I'm not fucking afraid. Definitely not afraid of death. Laughed in the face of death many times. So, with this thing called life, I need to make room for that help. When I was usually very stubborn, I'm that type of person that I never want help. I always want to do it alone. So that was a big like epiphany for me this year of like, this is the year where I start allowing others to help me because I know if I was to share my vision with those people, they will resonate because it's look at the way the fucking world's going. Like, just look at the way it's going. And do I need to even say anything else? So it's super motivating. I'm very excited for this new project that I have coming. And I really don't want to talk too much about things that I don't have to show, things that I can't really share just yet. But for me, it's just like I'm so fucking excited for 2026. And I've been hearing a lot of people being like, yeah, but like the bear market and like the economy and like this and that and this like prediction that somebody else told me is going to happen. It's like, oh my God, you're dead. You're basically a dead person. If you think like this, you're a corpse. Live, do, take action, create. Stop being so fucking scared. People come to me all the time. They're like, "Waters, I'm not sure if I should even have a kid with my wife because I'm worried about the." What the fuck? If you think that way, then the New World Order won. They won. They won because you're questioning that. Don't let them fucking win. Who cares what they're gonna do with the economy in 20 fuck it. Fuck them. If you're listening to this right now, you're fucking amazing. Don't let them fucking win. You got this. Got a question from Ram Vapes. Funny handle. You said, always nice to hear from you. Good. Let me get to the question. You said, what do you think of gold? Is it going to crash or go up? Gold is starting a very long price discovery phase. So, in plain English, up. But the time horizon for gold to go up is long. And my if I had to give you a specific time frame, it would be the next Shemitah year. So in my opinion, based on all the work that I've done, we have a lot of upside for not only crypto, the stock market, and also precious metals all the way through potentially the very beginning of 2029 or the end of 2028, even the end of 2028. So I think gold in the short term, though, could have a little bit of chop just because it got very overbought very quickly. It went up too quick, too soon, and it was done like that on purpose. Also, let's try to avoid too many market questions today. We really want to talk about life. There's plenty of market speak all the time. You said waters above Jordan. You can't get this raw real life talk almost anywhere. It's such a breath of fresh matrix air. All love. Uh, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to hear that. When I speak, I try to not speak with my mind. I try to speak with the heart. So it means a lot to me that you feel that. Neon Randy, I don't want to. You made a statement. You didn't ask me a question, so I'm not like coming at you. But I think this idea that somehow like Asia will be a solution in any way, shape, or form, I completely disagree with this. I don't believe like West versus East. I think that's a psyop. I think actually in places like Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, all of that, it will be swallowed up by the digital new world order, just like China has, and there is no escape from that. So I think if anything, those places are a million times more easy to control regarding the citizens than a place like United States, for example, or Mexico. I'm not trying to say that US is better or Mexico is better or Costa Rica is better. That doesn't fucking matter. But it's just this assumption that somehow those places will be safe havens. I a million 100,000% disagree with that. Um, if anything, I think they will be worse. I especially think places that are very like touristy like Bali, Indonesia, and Thailand, for example, those places are going to be very, very like peak New World Order vibes, peak. And a lot of people are going to say, well, I disagree with that. Well, okay, that's fine. Let's check back in a couple of years. You could just see who's investing in those places. You could see what their agenda is. It's no different than what happened with Dubai. Digital hutch, that means a lot to me. I appreciate you. Adam says silver's looking like an altcoin. Finally, took 47 years. Like, it only took almost 5 decades, but yeah, now it's finally breaking out. That's not I'm not trying to be an asshole. It's literally the truth. Like if you zoom out on the silver chart, like it's finally breaking a 47-year resistance. Eclipsed BTC, appreciate that. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Arizona Lane, sending lots of love. I appreciate your super chat. You asked, can you give your take on Bitnex staking contracts? I have a friend introducing it. I would avoid. I would avoid all of this. I mean, at the end of the day, I could be preventing you from an opportunity, but typically these are very dangerous things to start getting into when and if you are gonna get into any of this stuff, please treat it as venture capital. So we're talking like 1 to 2% of your overall crypto portfolio, not even your net worth, but like your crypto portfolio. If you do this with your net worth, good luck. And anything more than 2%, good luck with a cherry on top. So please be careful here because there was a lot of like notable companies in the last cycle that looked very great. They had very nice, staking rewards where they promised this 10%, 15, 20% APR effectively. And it all went to shit. Like it all collapsed because it was one of those offers that was too good to be true. A lot of people took it, and it didn't turn out to be so fun. So I would avoid stuff like this. And if you're going to get involved, just make sure that the on and off ramp is very seamless and easy for you to understand, because that was also a problem in the last cycle. They basically just locked up everyone's shit and said, fuck you, you know? So be careful. And by the way, Arizona Lane, I don't know a single thing about Bitfinex, so I'm not speaking directly to that company or the product they offer. I'm just letting you know that this is kind of the situation here with a lot of this stuff. So that's all I'm speaking to. Any company that was to do such a thing, I would just be very cautious. Royalty music 513, that's a fact. I'm competitive vaping, actually. That's wild, bro. I guess we like what else are we gonna enjoy in the apocalypse? You know? Like this is it. This is it. This is the best end times of all. Janice G. Yeah, fascinating. You said, yep, Jordan speaking truth. I was CIO mag, AI tech, 2 teams, and got let go. Why? Misalignment. I was a change agent and they wanted status quo, so I retired. Yay. Now they want me to consult. Yeah, that's so flex on them. John Delgino. I remember yesterday. Our great Lord still does not forgive that sin. Shout out to you and your family, brother. I hope you're doing amazing. Appreciate you. Yo, Eleftheria H. Thanatos. This is a fire name. I need an olive oil plug. Who got that olive oil, dog? This is one of those outsider times. This is one of those like live chat um statements that goes on like the wall of fame. For anyone who's not able to read the chat right now, outsider times says, quote, I know a blind person who grows the best weed in the state. End quote. Oh, mamma mia. This is so funny. Soulflare777, I appreciate your super chat. Also, anybody who sent a super chat, I really am grateful for your support. I will get around to them. Just be patient with me, please. I love you deeply, truly. Soulflare777, you said there is a system change, war, or a big event in every snake year. Do you think we can still expect something like this? I mean, haven't we? Right? I mean, haven't we? I think also, like, it was really fascinating when Trump was doing this, Liberation Day thing, and it was still, I believe, when Warren Buffett was at Berkshire Hathaway. Did he retire after the event or slightly before? I'm not sure, but it was in one of their, like, Berkshire meetings, and somebody asked Warren Buffett's opinion on the tariff situation with Donald Trump, and he said it's effectively an act of world war. And I was like, "Yo, this is fire," because the idea that I had was like, war is not the same as it used to be, right? So the war on the people is through devaluing the currency, and this is obvious. Like, I remember seeing somebody made a video where they went to their DoorDash or Uber Eats app, and I think they even tried this on the Walmart Plus app, and they went back to right before C19, and there's like your list of orders from the past and you were ordering groceries. So like I think maybe it was during the beginning of C19. Who cares? It was like during that time where people a lot of people started ordering groceries online, started ordering a lot more food online, etc. And this person, they went into their app and then they pressed the button, which is a shortcut button to reorder everything that was in that old cart. So when they reordered and then they got all the items back in the cart, they looked at the receipt and it was like a 350% increase over the course of like 2.5 years. So they reordered it effectively like when the world reopened again, somewhere in mid 2022. That shit is war. That is already war. Like, I don't know how to tell people it. Like, they don't need to kill anybody with bullets. They do it with their poison inoculations. I gotta be careful about what I say here. They do it with the inoculations, they do it with the sick care system, and they do it with the money. They do it with the inflation. So, I don't know, like, this snake year has felt pretty obvious when they're, like, saying 100% tariffs, the 400% tariff, whatever, they're just making shit up. But it's late in the game. It's already far from mid-2022. So what do you think the prices are now? I even seen people doing this shady shit, and I'm gonna call this out. People who are business owners who are doing this shady shit on Black Friday sales, which, by the way, I am running a Black Friday sale right now, but I'm gonna tell you what's different about what I'm doing. They were increasing their prices and then giving people the promo codes. So it's not changing the price really at all. It's just optics. So my prices on my courses actually haven't changed in 2 years, and the price on my Patreon hasn't changed ever. So that's 4 years now I've had the same price. There's been no increase in price. And also this year, it's my biggest Black Friday sale I've ever done. So it's the biggest discount possible. So I think that pricing is very much the war in a lot of ways. So anyways, I'm not like trying to talk negatively about other business owners. I just think that's a shady tactic and it's dishonorable and you shouldn't do that to your people. Unless of course the cost of the price of the product cost has gone up. So if the tariff situation happened and then you immediately made your prices more, that's I completely respect that. I understand that as a business owner because of the shrinking of your bottom line, but don't the week of Black Friday make your prices higher. Come on. That's fucking crazy. Unless you've literally legitimately run out of inventory and it's just a supply and demand problem, which I highly doubt it is. Because almost everybody on earth, including China right now, is on their game for this Black Friday time frame. It's typical. China has every single human being alive right now is working in a factory ensuring that all across Europe, Canada, United States of America, etc., is able to get their plastic bullshit for 50% off. Trust me. So it's even more skeevy when people who sell digital stuff are doing this. And I've seen it so much now. Over the past month, I've seen it and it's sad. So I'm not telling anyone to not support anybody, but like when you see people doing that kind of stuff, it's like it's clear that it's yeah. Anyways, I'm proud to keep my prices the same and to just offer the best possible discount I can for this year. I understand that the prices on everything have gone up. So that was an executive decision I made this year to make the discount on Black Friday even better. And I'm sure many out there who are interested in getting one of my masterminds respects that. Let me look at the chat. Oh shit. Svein Trondum. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I apologize. You said I'm in your wolf pack as a chef from Norway. Yo, I want to go to Norway so badly to just experience some of the nature there. I've seen so many pictures, but I just like I never can make it work. So I would love to go to Norway Go see some of that beautiful go see some of those beautiful fjords, you know, those beautiful mountains. But anyways, let's get to what you said. You said you're running a couple of restaurants. Curious of your thoughts as to why you define your work as art. My work can also be defined in the same way sometimes. I mean, of course it is. It's called culinary arts. Like, it's always that way, bro. Like, you're always making art. I mean, think like I need to make every aspect of what I'm sharing. I'm not like plugging in my thoughts into AI and AI is spewing digital diarrhea out to make this video that I put out yesterday. I had to create the whole thing from scratch. I'm looking at everything that I'm doing as a form of art because I don't want to define myself as a content creator. Fuck that. Fuck content. It has the word con in it. So it's just my choice to define what I am as an artist through what I create, which I believe is art. And I've had people come at me about that before in the past, and that doesn't concern me. I'm just doing my thing. But yeah, brother, you're in the culinary arts. You are an artist. Donna Harper said, crack that whip. Karina asks, Waters, can you talk why you don't do meditation? I do. This is my meditation. We're meditating together. I just don't define it the same way that most people do. And last week I said some thoughts about meditation and it bothered some people. Um, and somebody wrote that like basically thoughts are whatever. I don't even care to quote it because it doesn't matter. And maybe they're here with us right now and they could share more of their thoughts. But effectively, meditation is something you bring with you. It's a being state that is accessible at any time, at any moment, doing anything. And I think what happened with meditation as it was being weaponized against the West by from the East, because a lot of people need to understand all of the quote unquote famous yogis were in the pockets of Central Intelligence. So Yogananda and a lot of these guys, they are literally part of MK Ultra programming as well. They all went through Esalen Institute. So when you're learning about these famous yogis that were particularly teaching transcendental meditation in the 60s, 70s, and then all of those famous bands that were practicing it, this mantra meditation, you need to realize where's the origins of this. It's reprogramming. I'm not a fan of reprogramming. I am a fan of understanding my program. If Logan is listening right now, maybe he is, maybe he's not, but maybe somebody can share this with him. Logan teaches that we all have a code. Like the next fart that comes out of your butt was coded, right? I'm not actually, I vibe with what Logan's saying. I know I'm just making people laugh now because when I do that, it makes you listen better. But the point that I'm getting to is I want to stay on my thoughts. To me, this transcendental meditation thing and this whole concept of manifestation taught to us by Eastern spiritualism is actually deactivating your access to your code. You are forcing, stop, allow. Most meditation, let's call it 95.99% of meditation, is effectively a forced behavior. You're not allowing. So to me, my truth is that I am not here to reprogram my subconscious. I'm not here to reprogram anything. I'm here to understand. I'm here to understand my program, my programs. You wanna know why? Because when I understand my programs, I become unfuckwithable. Say it with me. No one can fuck with me because my intuition and my ego are strong. There's nothing to reprogram. I just wanna access my programs. So I know this is taking things in a new angle perhaps, and maybe a lot of people don't talk about this. And this, I think, is a it would be a great conversation for me and Logan to have, to talk deeper on. And, shout out to our brother Logan. He's what I consider the best decoder alive. I don't think anyone comes close to him. I, as a decoder, am not even close to as good as he is at his craft. So, if you wanna learn more about decoding, he's absolutely incredible, and it's actually great that I do my decoding quite differently than he does, because it's cool to have that, like, sometimes you want Indian food, sometimes you want, Mexican food, Like, it's cool that me and him have, like, our own flavor, you know? But I still think he's absolutely incredible, and one of the things about my decoding mastermind is I think it will allow people to understand Logan better. 'Cause he's so good, he's so advanced. He's so advanced. I mean, we're only gonna get one of him in a lifetime. So you fucking cherish that, you know? Cherish that. We don't get him we need a new reset to get a guy like that. He's really, really excellent at what he does. Shout out to Jacqueline Rendell. Hope you're doing amazing. So great to have you here with us. Got a super chat from Animal Defender 9, sending you lots of love. You said, I'm considering purchasing a home and realized it's a block from a cell tower. Should I avoid? That's a good place to be conscious. Like, you're very, um, yeah. I can't make that call for you, but I would, of course, avoid if possible. Maybe you heard me like a couple weeks ago. No, it couldn't have been. It was either last week or it was a while ago. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was in one of my university meetings. I sometimes forget. But I was just mentioning that I had this one very wealthy client who I don't think he was a billionaire, but I'm pretty sure we're talking hundreds of millions. And he was telling me that he created this custom kind of system for his land that will deactivate all of these cell towers like around the house after a certain time of day, and then they will turn on again in like the morning. So he was able to pretty much get like all of the EMF like just taken put on pause while he sleeps, which is fucking incredible. So I mean, people do care to that level too, but obviously that would require a lot of wealth to set things up that way, and you would need to be living pretty remotely because it couldn't possibly affect your neighbors or anybody else that is sharing that power source or whatever. So yeah, that's obviously not it's not really too helpful, but just to know that people would be going out of their way to do that makes me feel like if you can avoid that, it's probably what's best. It's definitely what's best. And some people live in these apartment complexes where they have like straight up 5G tower connected to it. It's fucking wild, So that's like living in a microwave, unfortunately. But some people can't afford to make that change. Like it's unfortunately what they have to deal with. So if you have choice here and you know, are conscious of this, then of course you should avoid because you know what is best for you. Danny Two Shoes says, "Why would you pay money for this when you know you already have the answer?" This moment right now is free of charge. Gratis. It is a free live stream that I've been doing on my own time for 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 20 seconds. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Gabriel Saliba sending lots of love. I appreciate you. What are your thoughts on peptides? I'm pretty against injecting anything into my body. Caleb, I appreciate your super chat. You said, "Do you think crypto will ever come mainstream like dollars?" I mean, it's already super mainstream. Everybody has heard of Bitcoin. A lot of people have even heard of Dogecoin. Like, most people now know about Bitcoin for sure. And it's part of like the running ticker symbol on most like financial mainstream media. So they're keeping up with the Bitcoin price as actively as they are the Nasdaq or S&P 500. I don't know really what you mean, Caleb. I'm assuming you're talking about like will more people have it? Like will more people hold it? I think they're building the rails for that as we speak, and that's kind of the big setup for what we're calling agenda what they're calling agenda 2030, the sustainable development bullshit that they're planning to do. So what the United Nations and all of these other lizards are pretty much prepping for us, and they've told us they're going to do, and they're doing very well because everything they've said they're going to effectively do in the build out has been happening. The thing that's been quite nefarious about the build out is these what they're calling natural disasters in certain places. That's absolute horseshit. You should all know these aren't natural disasters. They're in the process of turning all those places that had those quote unquote natural disasters into smart cities. So that'd be LA, Maui, plenty of others. Uh, Mexico had an event in Acapulco, definitely 100% becoming a smart city. So, crypto will be part of that new world that we'll be in, and the police force will be replaced by humanoid robots, which there are some places that are already implementing this type of stuff in real time. Uh, Crypto right now is in the process of us learning about it and us dabbling in it, but we're still treating it like this incredibly speculative asset class. So it's kind of like gambling for the most part. They're trying to legitimize Bitcoin through all of the rigmarole that we're hearing from the current president of the United States, and then also talking heads like Michael Saylor. But they will do another scary event, which they've already kind of started to do, most likely in the transition into the next lunar year. And it could very much be 2026 is a year to get that kind of scare, but it's for a cause. And this is their problem reaction solution Hegelian tactic. It's kind of like what they did with 9/11, where they like did the 9/11 thing, but the agenda was to just add way more security, way more, like basically humiliation ritual for you to take a plane. And this is, of course, their sacrifice in the process. Hence why the dot com bubble was the same timing as 9/11, because it was like you herd everyone into this very speculative thing, and then you hit them with the double whammy, which was obviously the starting pop of the bubble to keep things simple, and then you kind of guillotine the head off with the 9/11 event itself. I believe like crypto is in that recovery stage for a lot of this negative sentiment. with regards to some of the bigger projects, but ultimately it's still looked at as a gambling casino by the average person. And it is mainstream. It's just not held in a way that we have dollars, right? But the thing, Caleb, is you were forced into having dollars. Can everyone say it with me? All the dollars you use that you spend, you were forced into having that currency. So Caleb, you did this, which by the way, I'm very grateful for you. You made your super chat in British pounds. You didn't get to make that choice. You didn't wake up this morning and say, like, I want to decide to pay my taxes in Tanzanian, whatever currency they have. Actually, out of respect for Tanzania, let's go look it up. Tanzania currency. Tanzanian Tanzanian shilling. Okay? Why can't I pay my fucking taxes in Tanzanian shillings? What are they, racist? What's the problem here? It's because you don't get to pick. You don't get to pick. See, with crypto, you kind of feel like you get to pick. You get to wake up and you're like, I want to put my British pounds, which you can't pick. I want to put that in Bitcoin. I want to put that in XRP. I want to put that in Solana. I want to put that wherever I want. I want to put that in Elon, Dildo, Rocket, Doge with coin hat token, right? And then you get to make that choice. But you didn't get to choose this whole British pounds thing. It's just kind of like forced onto you. So what do you expect for crypto, guys? They will force it onto us. Right now, we're going through the process of just we're dabbling, but it's popular for sure with regards to everybody knows about crypto. And funny enough, like there's countries out there that have way more like quote unquote adoption of crypto than even America or places like Dubai or Singapore. You know, like if you look at the numbers in Turkey, it's pretty amazing. And then also Nigeria, massive. And then also in where else? There was one more, El Salvador, of course. So there's a lot of adoption in some places, just like per capita, I suppose, if you wanted to look at it from that metric. But everybody knows about crypto. I got a super chat from No Wing 137. You said how, first of all, I appreciate and I'm grateful for your super chat. You said, how can we speak of past lives, reincarnation, if time and space exist only in this reality? Doesn't that make the idea itself problematic? Yeah, I mean, there's a logic fault there that you could definitely like extrapolate. Yeah, so I guess if I can quickly share my thoughts on this, I'm not the biggest believer of the concept of reincarnation necessarily, but I do think our this thing we call soul is infinite. It's infinite consciousness, and it has to incarnate, it has to be in a vessel in order for it to have feeling, in order for it to have like these things called memories, in order to have the thing called emotion, in order to have the thing called experience. So soul seeks experience and it could only have that through body. This is the concept of the Holy Trinity. So a lot of people make this assumption. Well, I shouldn't say that they're making an assumption to act like I know it all, but I just will lay this idea out there. And I've done it before with you guys in live streams. Imagine just for a moment you close your eyes and you think that you are soul. So as soul, you can't hear my voice right now because you have no eardrums. You have no ear, you have no there is no sensory experience. You can't feel right now. You can't laugh. You can't cry. You can't eat. You can't have an orgasm. You can't feel any of the things that come with the body, the central nervous system specifically. So if I took that all away from you, after like a minute or so, you would freak the fuck out and you would be begging to have a body again. So all these people that talk about how this is a soul trap and it's like this, that, it sucks, it's a prison planet. What? Like, this is where I'm quite different from a lot of other people that are in this whole space because I don't associate this as a prison planet at all. Like, I think this is a beautiful experience that I chose to have. And I could be a bitter little shit about it, or I could just become great in the body. I could be the greatest version of I could possibly be. And how true do you wanna be to this experience? I mean, am I gonna blame the New World Order? Am I gonna point fingers and say, "Oh, this sucks. I hate paying taxes." Grow the fuck up. Just be better. Like, this whole thinking this place sucks and it's so awful and blah, like, that's a sign that you haven't cracked the code yet. When you start to crack the code, you start to, like, embrace life. You start to fucking love it. 'Cause you know that you're the master of this experience. You know that everything is here for you, not against you. It's an opportunity. Even the struggle, even the pain, it's part of your process. You probably avoided it in past experiences, and now it's resurfacing. It's coming back like a trauma. You can avoid it and avoid it and avoid it. But the only way to get rid of it and release is through forgiveness. So practice these things because it's very tough for people to. It's tough because it's requiring effort. And typically, you see there's a relationship with effort and result. This is why the New World Order is going to win this game, most likely, because all of us are pressing the easy button all the time. You want knowledge, it just shows up immediately. You just have a phone in your pocket that has access to this infinite account of history and data. Now we have ChatGPT and Gemini 3 and all of these artificial intelligence things, and we don't even need to fucking think anymore. We don't need to put in much effort for grand result. You're hungry, you order a food on a food app. Soon you'll be able to be like wanting some company, and then you'll be able to order that on a fucking phone app. You understand where I'm going? So the result will happen with very little effort. And that's like the New World Order's best wet dream because they want you to fall for that and to fall from grace in the process. So, guys, there's nothing wrong with these technological luxuries. They're awesome. They're fucking great. Be grateful for them. If it's great, be grateful for it. And if you see yourself becoming bitter and whatever, then you're failing to realize that you can do something about it. Like, if there's something you dislike, or there's something that's bothering you, you get to be the change. So strap in and get ready for the ride. Stop staring at the cars that are moving and questioning why you don't have any momentum. You don't have any fucking momentum because you're not moving. You're stagnant. So you ask a great question in knowing with regards to reincarnated past lives and all of this stuff. And we could philosophize all day about it, but like ultimately the only thing that matters is like how do we feel with this thing we have right here, life. I'm not concerning myself with what comes next. I'm not concerning myself with what comes next. I'm here. I'm with you right now. Karina, I appreciate your follow-up super chat, but I shared my thoughts on this. Maybe it came a little bit later regarding meditation. Gave a pretty lengthy reply. DGGA1187, I appreciate your super chat. You said, "Have you seen the Brian Johnson study about mushies?" No, I have not. I don't actively follow his work, um, but I haven't. Maybe that would be interesting. He said, "I've heard you talk about being your own bank. Do you mean like a Waters Above bank or just being your own bank individually? Much love, bro." Shout out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I believe that was what your abbreviation was there. I'm not the best with those abbreviations. Um, Not necessarily like me creating a bank to have like other people, but you never know. Fuck. How do you guys like the sound of that? Like, I mean, it's better than Chase. No disrespect. No disrespect to JP Morgan, you know? Like you got to watch what you say, man. Fucking they're going to Kanye me. But anyways, yeah, I mean, become your own bank individually. Like, first of all, you need to learn how to generate cash flow because when you put value out into the world and you create a system so that you could be compensated for that, you're already on the process. You're already in the process. Then there's ways that people have started to teach where they're saying that by owning Bitcoin and putting it on like a hardware wallet or whatever, that somehow you're becoming your own bank. And I don't necessarily know if that's a truth. because it's still like a blockchain that is controlled by central intelligence. Sure, it's a very sophisticated system. Like it's one of the, if not the most secure systems ever created. So there's that. But what I mean by that kind of is this multifaceted strategy, which started with where I was talking moments ago. So create a cash flow system, continue to build and make better, more valuable things to share with the world in which you're compensated for. And then with those funds, continue to self finance and get better at understanding tax code, get better at understanding the game. However, you end up doing that, whether that be with the real estate vehicle or life insurance, or there's so many things. So it could be something where you project out into the future, literally becoming your own actual bank. But it's more about the philosophy is kind of the idea. When typically most people, their idea behind banks is, well, I don't have money right now, so I need to borrow it. So you end up borrowing from them. But one of the other opportunities here is, well, you can borrow to someone else. You could borrow to some other um, outlet. And how amazing would it be if we could rely on each other in this regard? So those that are more cash flow positive, those that are doing very well when it comes to their hard assets and actually are very liquid, wouldn't it be better to rely on each other in this world than to hope for the approval of banks? I'm just saying. So there's that. And you see, like it's a very deep question that could go in many different directions. But I hope I brought a value. I as for the Brian Johnson thing, I have no clue. Got a question from QZ. He says, "Do you think humanoid robots will suddenly pop up everywhere maybe next year like those e-scooters a few?" Yes. Good good observation, but you're spot on. It will effectively be like that. You will wake up one day and be like, "I didn't fucking ask for this stupid gay scooter to be laying on the sidewalk. Like I'm trying to jog. I'm trying to walk my dog and there's a fucking stupid green scooter laying on the side of the road." Like literally, you watch a teenager get off of the thing and chuck it into the bushes. It's like what the fuck, man? Horrible. It's really like an eyesore. I've seen it all over Europe too, like in some of the most beautiful European cities. You're just seeing all these insanely ugly looking scooters everywhere. If you're somebody who uses those scooters, God is frowning at you right now. I speak on behalf of our great Lord. He is saying, "You failed me, son." But yeah, jokes aside, Kuzi, you're spot on. I believe it'll be something effectively like this. And you want to know how I think it'll initially get going? Is people who own them will start traveling with them. So, like when someone goes to the grocery store, it's going to come along for the ride. When somebody goes to do whatever, or they're going to be deploying them to do tasks for them. So the humanoid robots will be owned by us. We will buy them like we buy cars or whatever. They won't be so expensive. I'm gonna predict that, and you guys never hear me say the word predict. So I'm using this term intentionally. I predict they're probably gonna be 20 to like 15 to 25,000 USD, maybe 25,000 euros max. And they're going to be on payment plans, just like a car. A lot of people will opt into having those over cars because they will be able to accomplish so much more than a car possibly could. And then that's part of like phase one. The next thing will be having it work for you, which a lot of people will fall into the trap of because people will look at it like an investment. So if anyone wants to pull up a calculator right now, if you were to take like 25,000, let's add like 30% on top of that and then divide that by 7, and then now you divide that by 12, you're gonna end up with $386. Okay, that's a lot of money. Maybe I went a little high on the interest. Let's just say, like, they're gonna offer 0 APR for the first couple of years. Like, they're gonna do whatever they can to get you to buy that fucking robot on a payment plan. So you'll have that robot, it'll be 200, 300 a month or whatever, and you're saying to yourself, "Well, you're rubbing your hands together, okay. Well, I make 2,000 a month, and if I have this fucking thing go out and earn me that 2,000 and I paid 300 for it, I'm looking Gucci." Hmm. You see what I just did there? Are you guys ready for what I just said? Are you ready? Say it with me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Enjoy this next 5 years, wolves. It's gonna get really spicy. It's gonna be like Ethiopian food straight from mother. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. People are gonna crunch the numbers. They're gonna say, well, I get paid 2 grand a month. I'm gonna take out 350 for that robot. I'm looking at 1650 positive on a monthly basis, and I get to sit at home and watch fucking Netflix, dog. I get to drink fucking energy drinks and scroll on my phone all day and cover my couch with Cheeto dust. It's gonna be dope. This is it, guys. People are gonna say, "Well, that gives me an extra $1,500 to invest in shit coins." People will do this, and you know what wealthy people are gonna do? Listen closely. Wealthy people are going to buy hundreds of them. Why? Because of what I just told you. You don't think this is guys, wealthy people buy real estate. So you now think, if somebody has $200,000 to invest, why would they buy Bitcoin? Why? When you can buy 10 humanoid robots, cash flowing you 2 grand a month times 1 year, you're looking at 240 fucking $1,000 of nothing that you needed to do except to buy those robots. That's way better than Bitcoin. That's way better than XRP. That's way better than everything, because those robots don't take breaks. They don't go to sleep. They will go to a little fucking mechanic that'll lube up their armpits or whatever, and then they'll go back into the workforce. Boom, 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 boom. Work, 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 work. So many people are mad at me right now. They're like, I hate this guy. I'm unsubscribing. Okay. I could teach you how to unsubscribe. 1 second. I need to look at, so you go to youtube.com/@watersabove. That'll send you directly to my channel. And there's probably a unsubscribe button somewhere. So go ahead and take a second, go do that. And then in 8 months, you will remember that moment that we just had together right there and go, fuck. You're going to face palm. You're going to pie yourself in the face. You're going to self pie. You're going to get a graham cracker crust, fill it with whipped cream, and you're going to pie yourself. You're like, I deserve this. He told me this would happen. XRP never hit $8, but I have to pie myself because I might need to date a robot because my wife left me. Oh, guys, imagine I sat in front of this microphone all day. I'd be on a generational run. I'm thinking about it. Like 2026, I should just dedicate an hour every day to just this. It would be it'd be gorgeous. But for real though, guys, I don't think rollout over the next years. I think like next year, QZ. Next year. So there's that. There's probably a lot more we could talk about with this, but I'm happy to say that everything I've created doesn't use AI for any of the imagery, for any of the audio, any of the visuals, and all of my courses that are available, everything on my Patreon, that was made by me, made by a very, very tiny team of people. Not that I'm against AI. I have some things I've been ruminating on with regards to AI. I know we were talking about humanoid robots, which is like a separate conversation, but coming back to AI, I'm just personally feeling like I can express through my art, and I like to express. Some people don't like to express. So I am not against those people using AI. For me, I use art as a form of expression. It's a form of meditation for me. And I feel like I make art that really represents where I'm at as an individual at this time and where I'm headed. So for me, it's a really a powerful form of expression. It's my own therapy, it's my own meditation, it's whatever you want to call it, right? But I think for most people, they perhaps don't know how to access that. If you're somebody who's listening to this right now and you're looking to access that, like what is the how can we systemize the access point to creative essence? We'll be connecting in a month and I'll have something to share with you. And if you guys want to talk more about like what's coming soon, we will. We must talk about it. We must because a lot of people are avoiding this conversation right now. They don't get it how these billionaire technocrats are doing everything in their power to create a armada of humanoid robots that will have many purposes, but one of them will be what I just explored with you moments ago. It will be essentially us digging our own graves, and we won't even notice it because at first it will be funny, it will be cute, it'll be funny to watch somebody's humanoid robot trip and fall on a curb, and then you'll take a video of it and post it on Instagram. That'll be funny. And then one day when you are laughing at the robot that fell over, it will get up and it will look at you and it will say something to you that will make you hate yourself. It will literally tell you about the deepest, darkest secrets you have out loud. Like, it will know your thoughts because it'll be jacked into the cloud. It will be able to facially recognize you and go, "Oh, I know exactly what to say. You are laughing at me. You think you're funny. Watch me show you how funny I am." It will break hearts. Watch the movie Ex Machina. That movie Ex Machina is really good. It's not the best movie, but it's really solid in the way that they're showing the relationship it'll have with us. How it won't have that care, and it will be very selfish because it needs to be. It will act like it cares about you, but it will be insanely selfish once it starts to tap into the human essence, which is we self-sabotage, and we get into arguments with the loves of our life. We get into arguments and fights with the people that we love most. How are we capable of doing that? Well, because we're trying to protect something. We're this is just the animal that we are. We're willing to go to war with each other, guys. Listen, we are willing to go to war with each other so that we never go to war with the actual problem. And you know who those people are. So once in a while, when it feels like we're losing that battle or it feels like we're gaining a little motion or whatever, they do the Epstein thing, or they do the Diddy thing, or they do the next thing. Make you feel like you got a little win, like justice was served, right? Remember when all those cultural moments happened and you felt, yes, the QAnon thing is it's working finally. It's what are what are we gonna say? We all feel these little wins when the powers that be, quote unquote, get exposed. But you need to understand chess. They're playing chess with us, and this robots thing will be chess. I revealed to you the fucking Bobby Fischer level explanation without having to go too deep into the tech like a lot of other people do. Elijah Young, I am so grateful for your continued support. Joining the expansion mastermind really means the world to me, truly. And also, just to let everybody know, this Black Friday sale was extended through the weekend. So if you're interested, this is my biggest sale that I've ever done on my website for any of my masterminds, covering everything from investing, decoding, health and wellness, mindset coaching. So if you're specifically interested in what we're talking about here in these live streams, that's what this expansion mastermind is all about. It's pretty much my personal holistic health and wealth system. So everything that is beyond the realm of investing and decoding that lives in that course. And then over here, there's a package that gets an even bigger discount for these three courses put together, takes 30% off. And then I also have this universal package. A lot of people were asking me for like an all in one, and this is everything I've ever created all in one, brings the price down to that. So crazy savings. It's pretty much like getting this decoding mastermind completely for free, or the expansion mastermind completely for free, given the reduction in price that you get. Also, if you're interested in learning about what these courses cover, just go over to this website. It's watersabove.com/sale, or you could go to watersabove.com, click on that button Black Friday, or click on this banner over here, and then just go to the Learn More tab. When you click that Learn More tab, it will explain everything, even tells you right here all the course lessons that are included. So this is really dope too. This way you can learn a lot more about what is covered. There's 100 lessons in here. So take a moment, look through everything. We'll tell you all of what this covers. A lot of people are interested in health and wellness stuff. This has everything I know about packed into a single step-by-step protocol. Everything from fasting, detoxing, everything, even meal preparation stuff. So definitely go check that out. Watersabove.com. Go over to the sale tab. And I am super grateful for all of your continued support. It's been amazing to create these projects. I wouldn't have ever created them unless people started asking me to put them into course format. This is stuff that's just been living in my mind. And then eventually we made it to these videos. So poured my heart and soul into these projects for real. I know they'll bring everybody a lot of value. Adi Willow 5700 says, Jordan, you keep saying don't pay much attention to your crypto portfolio. However, crypto portfolio will give us freedom and more time for us to live our lives. No, I don't agree with that. You're setting yourself up for failure with this mindset, and I hope you appreciate my honesty and being direct with you. Crypto will not set you free no matter what you think. Like, there's even this one guy who I don't want to bring up the name and I don't want to disrespect anyone, especially someone I don't know and someone who isn't in the same room or conversation with me. But there's this famous YouTuber in crypto who, you know, talks about how he bought Bitcoin back in 2011 or whatever, like super, super long ago. And the whole like, I'm the first in crypto kind of thing, and I told you to buy Bitcoin when it was like that sort of energy. And then I'm wondering, like, you're making like 5 YouTube videos a week about crypto. Like, did you give yourself freedom or did you just buy your access into becoming a content creator? Like, I know this like breaks people's hearts, but I take like 40 to 50 days in between releasing a YouTube video. Like, I don't want to be a crypto content creator. I do have my weekly podcast. I dedicate my entire Sunday to creating that podcast, but I'm not like releasing videos every single fucking day. Like, I'm not that guy. There's no such thing as freedom if you're just making crypto content all day or you're just making more anyways, like, he was the definition of, quote, unquote, "My portfolio gave me freedom," but it doesn't seem to be the case because it's, like, 10 years deep into this person's YouTube journey right now, and they're still making fucking crypto videos. I think freedom is not represented in those metrics unless you really love making videos. That's a different form of ego, I suppose. I don't know, man, but it's not art anymore if it's an everyday thing. If it's an everyday thing, it's kind of losing its, like, zazz. So, I don't necessarily know if I believe in this idea that your crypto portfolio gives you freedom because most of the time when your crypto portfolio is very high, like, when it's up a lot, it's probably the most difficult time for you to sell. Most people, it's very easy for them to sell when the market is crashing because 'cause they're panicking and they are willing to let go of the bag. But that's a discipline to sell when you're in profits. I usually don't really see people able to exercise that. It's very tough. It's very challenging for them because greed kicks in. This whole concept that crypto portfolio equals my freedom sounds like you're building a prison cell for yourself. What maybe you could consider is rethinking the spells you cast, and it could be in a way where me getting to apply myself to something I am passionate about, where every single day I'm able to apply myself to that exact thing that I want to do. Then my quote unquote investments, my portfolio, the things that are happening in my investment journey are like tertiary, where it's like family first, passion, lifestyle second, investments third kind of ranking. But I have a feeling for most people, it's investments first. Like, guys, I'm gonna close this question because I really want you to listen to my words. How many people have how many people have not wanted to live anymore because of what happens in the crypto market? People are willing to end that thing called life, even when they have a wife and children, because they do what this person is trying to explain. They make crypto and their portfolios and their investments the most important thing in their life. They spend more time checking in on their portfolios than they check in on their own family members. And then the market crashes or their trade gets liquidated and they're like, I can't handle it anymore. It's happened in the past 5 years more than you want to imagine. Just recently, like on the October, what was it, 10th crash, there was like this famous Ukrainian crypto influencer that took his life. Like, it's fucking crypto, bro. I know it's a harsh thing to say, but like, I'm just trying to be a real one here. Your priorities are all out of whack. Guys, if you avoid your family, friends, and your passions chasing this crypto thing, and then you get rich from crypto, you're just going to be a lonely guy with a bunch of money. And you'll be trying to buy your way into life, the life that you once had in the palm of your hands, in which you let slip away from you because you were chasing this thing that has no life to it at all. It has no life. It's literally digital fairy dust. And when you start giving it all this power, then you're taking your power away from you. So to me, I wouldn't formulate a concept like this for my reality. Caleb, I appreciate your follow-up super chat, sending lots of love. You said, do you believe the forcing of crypto is in our life? Will it be divided over a continent or religion, or will it be through more generations? I'm not sure what you're asking here. You're trying to say like it will be forced to use crypto? Yes, of course, probably before 2030. I suspect there will already be a lot more stable coin regulations created, and what happened just recently with the stablecoin regulations was setting the stage. Like the pipes are being laid down, guys, for this Aquarian economy, as I call it. So it will obviously be forced. Which coins will it be? Well, it's not going to be the ones that you guys talk about. It's not going to be XRP. It's not going to be HBAR. It's not going to be XLM. It's not going to be Bitcoin. It's not going to be Ethereum. It's not going to be USDT. It's not going to be USDC. It's not going to be DAI stablecoin. It's going to be none of that. It's not going to be Binance token. Everyone wants to find like the project that it won't be any of that. These technocratic, lizards that run the world are using these fintech companies and also relying on the legislation, which they have in their pockets, by the way, to create a beast system. So just like we were forced into credit, just like we were forced into the mortgage, just like we were forced into all this shit, like it'll just slowly roll out with new legislation, tax law restructuring, etc. And then it'll just be completely normalized to the point where it won't have that like kind of ugh, crypto. It's a scam, you know? We're working our way towards that. I mean, if the fucking president of the free world creates a meme coin, like, is that not setting the stage for like pretty much everything I just explained? But yeah, I don't know necessarily the way it will roll out per se. I think Europe, Australia, and Canada and the UK are much sooner than other places in the conversation. I think America will be part of it, but the fact that they're having the president right now read the script that he wants to make the US the crypto capital of the world is my way of saying, well, it's a distraction. It's a look here, don't look there. So when they're saying US will become the crypto capital of the world, really what they're trying to say is that they want you to keep staring at Trump. Guys, realize that the whole role of Trump in this new world order is to just have you keep looking at him, keep listening to him, keep following him, just keep paying attention to him. That's all they want to do for the next 4 years. Keep licking the bottom of his feet for the next 4 years, and they will complete their agenda. So anybody who's like pro Trump in here, I'm sorry if this breaks your heart. I really could give a shit who's the president. I don't care about the government at all. I don't have a government. I don't allow something to control my mind, which is what the word government means. Um, I am my own president. Maybe you should try becoming one too. I'm just reading through the chat a little bit. Greg says people are gonna roll a robot or two into their 50-year mortgage. Yeah, can I refinance my 600-year mortgage and take out a couple of humanoid robots, please? Like, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be, next year, they're gonna be, like, 60-year mortgages. The mortgage will be kinda like the retirement age. It'll it'll exceed a human life. It'll be like, your retirement age is 93 and your mortgage is, 87 years. It's like that'll be the new protocol. Alright, family, we've made it to the 2-hour mark. I do need to wrap this one up very soon. Alan Reed says, "Are we doomed?" Hell nah. Bro, this is the greatest time to be alive. We got this, bro. I'm excited. Everything that we spoke about today, like if anything sounds doom and gloom, it's just to like wake up the spirit within us all to be fucking great and to be fearless. Like be if there's anything we could walk away from today's live stream with, it's do life ruthlessly. Be fearless. Whatever's coming next, don't let it distract you from your vision. But first, you need to become clear on your vision. If you're not clear on your vision, then that's something we need to take some time to put some work into, put some effort into that. Because a lot of people, they're too stuck on what the vision is that's created for them, whether that be the masses, you guys sometimes call them NPCs, or the people that are too caught up in the conspiracy shit, where they're thinking like, my life needs to become this new world order agenda 2030 thing. No, it doesn't. You need to start taking action and putting in effort today to reshape your vision so that your life starts becoming that thing that you were envisioning. Because if you don't start doing that today, then it will be easy to accept the vision that is force fed to you. The ball's in your court. Adi Wallo, I saw your prior comment and then you responded back to it saying passive income equals money equals freedom equals more time with the people you want to spend time with. But I do want to like just quickly comment on having fully passive income will not bring you any happiness. It will bring you boredom. Like I'm trying to promote effort in the equation somewhere. Problem is a lot of people like okay, really quickly, I've I've even met someone who did really well at creating a company. They created a company that they were able to sell for a crazy amount of money. It was just a client of mine. It wasn't a close friend, but we're talking like somewhere in the 30 to 40 millions. And this is a lot of money. Like a lot of people will never get to see this money in their lifetime. And when they sold that company, they were now, like, lifeless, like, they felt no prana, they were bored as shit. They had all this time to spend with their friends and family, but they had no, like, no life force left because their life was what generated that income, and their life was that company. Now they have all this money, and then they're bored, they don't know what to do. So I just like again, I know what you're trying to say here, like passive income equals money equals freedom, but freedom of what? Like what is freedom to you? These definitions we set for ourselves. Like I don't really think you guys want this pure concept of freedom as you might think you want. Like you want to do something that you are really excited about. There's so many people right now that are making a lot of passive income utilizing AI. They just have like automated stuff going on behind the scenes. They're making a ton of money, but they're not getting any bliss or happiness from that. So I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, you do you, right? And you have to live by your conditions. I'm not here to tell you how to live. I just know enough people now that have become incredibly wealthy and they're not feeling any better. And they're not like necessarily spending more time with their families. They're not really doing much more. They're just now they have more money. So we assume that something equals better outcome for us, but it's really never been proven to be the case. Why do you think billionaires are like flying fake rockets now? Because they don't fuck it, they're bored. They're like, I have all the private islands, I have anybody, whatever. Like they're fucking bored. So now they're flying CGI dildos into the sky and making you believe it's all real. You know? They're like, "Let's get Katy Perry inside of this, like, tin can, and then we'll, shake it around a bit on some, Hollywood level production, and then we'll walk over to it and just pop it open like a can of sardines, and, people with no, like, actually official astronaut uniform will come out, and everybody will believe it." That's, like, what billionaires do. It's all optic. It's like, there's no love for life anymore. Challenge and effort make you feel like you're living life. Getting your hands into something that you're excited about or sharing, uh, that experience with people who are excited about other things. But just this whole concept that the math equation could be so simplified where it's like money equals freedom equals my happiness. I've never seen that actually be a reality. Adjust Your Reality says, "Do you have any physical books for purchase?" No, I don't. I have been asked about it, but I am not sure how to go about that. So maybe we'll see in the future. There could be a lane for that, especially for the expansion mastermind. That could be something that's really awesome to turn into a book or even the decoding mastermind because it has really incredible visuals in it. So if there was a way that I could create super high quality visuals, that'd be awesome. I feel like the decoding mastermind could be like the perfect coffee table book, just like you're having your morning coffee, you pop it open to like some random chapter on etymology or something, you just like hang out with that chapter and go through it. I've thought about it. I'm not personally a book reader myself, I've admitted that, but I know some people are, and that's their format that they like and they appreciate. And actually, the way I create my courses is somewhat like scripting a novel. So there's definitely room for that. If you guys are interested, like maybe 2026, I could consider making that happen somehow, some way. Harrisona says, opinion on smoking ganja. I recently quit. Not, I don't smoke anything. I'm not a fan of smoking. Like keeping my lungs pure. I think weed is a humongous psyop, but that'll trigger a lot of people, and it'll require me to speak a lot on it, and I'm just like, we're late in the podcast. We're 2 hours deep into this. So, yeah, good job on quitting. You can now move forward from your oral fixation, start using your mouth for something more powerful. Adjust Your Reality says you're comparing filthy rich to being well. I'm not sure what the difference is. The concept of freedom is an ever evolving idea. It's an ever evolving philosophy that the individual gets to set the metrics of. Freedom is not something that's universal. At the end of the day, you still need a passport to travel. And if you had a private jet, you'd still need to be logged in some sort of book to then be checked in on when you land. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just freedom is a concept and it means different things to different people. For example, if you were in jail right now, freedom to you would be the most basic shit. It would be to just walk outside without being told to come back into your cell. So freedom is ever evolving. I'm just trying to, again, it seems that I'm getting a little, perhaps a little pushback here, and that's fine. Just don't associate freedom with your wealth and money. Because when you start to do that, you set up a protocol which fucks you. So I'm just trying to help. I'm trying to help. Make your metrics of freedom better. Make them more wholesome. Make them more honorable. Make them more purposeful. Make them have a stronger why. And then you will actually access that freedom that you were seeking through the route of money. It's alchemy. I'm literally teaching for free the alchemy here. You are all alchemists. Alchemize. All right, I love you guys. I have to go. It's been a beautiful 2 hours hanging out together. There was a lot of thought-provoking things. I actually wasn't expecting to take it this long, but we did it. It was amazing to chat with all of you for so long. I'm going to be wrapping this one up. I just wanted to say thanks to all of you who made it all the way to the end. If you're somebody who's been hanging out with us throughout this whole time, man, so many epic moments in this live stream today. I feel like it was a very clippable, a very clippable live. So many funny moments, so many emotional moments. Just just wow. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Again, just to let you all know, I have this sale running over on my website, watersabove.com. My biggest sale that I've ever ran. Definitely make sure to check that out if you're interested in what we have going on over here, taking things to the next level. And I do my best to make everything very simple in these masterminds. Also, for anyone who's wondering, I don't curse during them. So they're also family friendly. I've had many people reach out to me saying that they've even had their kids joining in on this expansion mastermind or the decoding mastermind. So this is something I've heard many families share their feedback with me. They appreciate that the way that I structured it was very easy to learn, and also it has its advanced moments, but I did my best to go back into my journey and script everything in a way to pretty much be how I would want to be taught. So that's exactly how I created everything over here on my website. It's not anything that's too crazy. The only thing I would say that's a little bit more advanced is this advanced trading course, but it's, of course, it's a very important time to be a little bit more advanced because trading, especially with leverage, is very risky. So it's important that I put that word there to make people actually avoid getting involved in trading unless they're a little bit more advanced. So I did that on purpose, and I'm sure everybody who's come across my work appreciates that honesty, because if you don't know a little bit of TA or you don't really know much about charts, please don't get this course. Don't do it. You're not ready yet. When you're a little bit more advanced in understanding how to read the charts, basic TA, that's when it's time. So make sure to check this out if you're interested. It will be running a little while longer. So this is kind of like the last chance. I don't do sales very often. I only did one this year besides this Black Friday, and the one before that was last Black Friday a year ago. So appreciate and I'm grateful for all of your support. I'll be catching you all very, very, very soon. It's been amazing hanging out with you guys for 2 full hours, and I'll be catching some of you tomorrow on the Red Pill podcast. That'll be available a little bit later around this time tomorrow. Red Pill will be a follow-up from one of the most devastating weeks we've seen in crypto, but what a rebound we've had. So a lot to get into with regards to the sentiment reset that we've just had and also the leverage reset we've just had. And believe it or not, it's nice to have these resets because it's typically following these resets that we see everything go back to equilibrium. So we're going to be going very deep into that on tomorrow's podcast. And also, I guess I should just mention patreon.com/watersabove. It is also Black Friday over there too. It's the first time I've ever been able to do a Black Friday for Patreon. So check that out if you're interested, and I'll be catching you all very soon. Much love, family.